Hi, this is Jack from TritiumSoft.com. I just want to talk to you about one interesting feature with ChangeUnits2. So let's go back in. So the last time we were in here, we were having an issue with Vietnamese dong, and I figured it out. And what it was is the number I was putting in had a comma. And so if we go out here, so we're talking about travel cash, and the beauty of travel cash is I can take different exchange rates and I can throw them in here, and I have travel cash 1 through 4, and I can look and see what's happening with these exchange rates for any currency in the world. So it's really nice. It really helps when you're thinking about different currencies, or if maybe you found a bill and you're not sure how much it's worth. You have a bill and you're like, well, sometimes you're like, well, if that's a lot of money, I better convert it before I lose the opportunity to get my money back out. And other times you usually find out it's not worth nothing, and that you just want to keep it because it's cool. And so that happens a lot when you're traveling between different countries. And so what I want to show you here is if we go in here, you see this 23,447.50 dong. Well, with this current version of ChangeUnits2, it doesn't like the comma. And so the problem I was having here is it was giving me weird numbers because it has a comma in there. And even though it worked with the comma, it doesn't work right with the comma. So I might adjust that so you can have a comma. But in general, I don't make those kind of exceptions. In ChangeUnits2, I might display a comma, but you never put commas into the program. You just put numbers and a decimal point. So that's just something I wanted to go over here, is that the program still functions with the comma, but you can see we have a problem. And so this problem is, if I go to Travel Cash, I think it's Travel Cash 1, maybe. Maybe not 1, 2. So if I put in, go to Travel Cash 2. So we already know from looking at this here is that 20,000 dong is a dollar, right? It says $1 is 23,000 dong. So we already know what it is. So when we're checking our number over here, we go down to 20,000 dong. It better be about $1, and instead it's $200. And so that's where we know, hey, this isn't right. Why is that? It shouldn't be $200. That's quite a different exchange rate, and it's because of this comma here. And so what I need to do is take the comma out. So what I can do is, there's a few things I can do. I can do just copy this and then delete it and then paste it back in. And now, so there's no comma. Everything else is the same. You saw how fast I was able to do that. Now 20,000 notes is 85 cents, right? Less than $1. So I might update it to fix that, but at this point, it's not. So I want to show you just to keep commas out of ChangeUnits2. We show commas to help you, but don't put them in for the initial value, because you can get these weird anomalies coming through. And so that's something I might fix on a future update. But this, as it stands here, you can see it works just fine. It has all the right numbers here. So if you had a million donuts, a million baht, that's only $43. So it's kind of fun. You could be a millionaire in Vietnam for like less than $50, which is pretty exciting when you're a traveler and not a millionaire somewhere else. Also, we can go over here and go from Travel Cash 2 to Travel Cash 1, right? And so when we're talking about finding these bills, so if we find if we had, American money, let's say we had $500, how many dong can we get for that? 11.7 million. or $100, 2.3 million. So it's really handy to have this ability. And you can see when you get these really huge exchange rates, it can be really hard going the other direction. Let's try that real fast. If we go over here and we have, USD to Vietnamese dong, let's go the other direction. Vietnamese dong to USD, because it's so small that sometimes it's, hard to get a good number. And so we have this number here and we can copy it. So you look at it's, America doesn't even have this currency. It's way less than a cent. So if we go back in here and instead of travel cash, we'll go to travel cash 3. And let's change this number and see what happens. And you can see it worked out really well, right? It's in the same vicinity. It's not quite the same. And we talked about sometimes there's a penalty between going, cashing into one currency versus the other, that you have to pay a premium to get one currency versus the other. That's standard with currency conversion. So, but you can also see, 5 dong isn't worth anything. You have to get all the way up to, 10,000 dong before you're even in the cents, really. So, and then, we got the same thing here. 1,000,000 dong is going to be $43. So that works out good. And we can use travel cash 4. So 1 and 2 go together, and 3 and 4 to go together. You could say, $5 is 100,000 dong. And so that helps a lot when you're going to make some kind of transaction, to have that in your mind. But in general, when there's exchange rates this large, a lot of times they'll just be in dollars. So even in Vietnam, a lot of things are in dollars, but not everything. Sometimes you actually need to have the local currency. And so it's really nice to have ChangeUnits2 with travel cash. I hope you enjoyed.